what is a title? It is the status of that particular land. Then title document, proof of ownership. So there is a title, and then there is a title document. Title is the status. If somebody say, what is the title of the land? It says FCDA R of O. It is FCDA C of O. It is Area Council C of O. It is Area Council R of O. It is Najis C of O. It is Najis R of O. Those are titles. Then the title document is the proof of ownership. That is the document you have. Now that we're processing our Buhari Area Council customary C of O, I have the document. That is my title document. So let's see your title documents. I will go home and bring it. Right? What is the title of the land? It is Buhari Area Council C of O, customary. Right? So we have kinds of titles. We have kinds of titles. Kinds of titles. We have customary, that is the family land. Community land, that's the type of land we have in Buhari, is a customary land. We have equitable land, equitable deed. Equitable deed. Equitable deed. And then you have legal / statutory titles. Legal / statutory titles. Legal / statutory titles. So legal / statutory titles are C of O, deed, receipt, applied C of O, allocated C of O. They are all under legal statutory titles. They are all legal statutory titles. Applied C of O, allocated C of O. You have deed, you have receipt. Then under this legal statutory, you also have R of O, an allocated R of O. C of O, certificate of occupancy. R of O, right of occupancy. So they might sound quite confusing, but you need to understand them. That's why I'm taking it gradually. I've talked about what is a title. A title is the status of a particular land. So that's why when people call you, they ask you, what is the title of the land? You say it's deed of us. It says FCD R of O, Najis R of O, this, that. Then you have kinds of titles. You have customary, you have family, you have community, you have equitable deed, then you have legal statutory. So customary, family, community is that land that you buy from family, you buy from community, and then you then start maybe processing the legal titles. When you buy it, what you are going to do is customary agreements. That is why even the Buhari Area Council land, we bought it from a family, right? We bought it from an individual. So what we have is customary C of O. Customary. It's between you and individuals or community or family. Then before you can now go and integrate with government, you can now go, they always put it customary. if you do anything, like you go to barrier council, you do change of ownership, they always put customary. It shows that this was not allocated to you by government. It was, you bought it from, and that's the customary um, um, title, right? Then you have equitable, right? You have legal and statutory. Now, the C of O are under legal or statutory, right? Those ones have um, government backings. They have government backings. They have legal backings, right? They have legal backings. So um, let's quickly find out the Land Use Act. The Land Use Act. Nigeria has a Land Use Act that governs all the lands in Nigeria belongs to federal government. All the lands in Nigeria belongs to federal government. According to the 1948 Land Use Act. So 1948, Nigeria, there is Nigeria Land Use Act, and there is Abuja Land Use Act. The Land Use Act nationalized all lands in Nigeria by vesting its ownership in the states, right? The occupier of lands pursuant to a right of occupancy is issued certificate of occupancy. The holder of certificate is obligated to pay rent, which is subject to revision to the governor. So the Land Use Act vests all the lands to the federal government, and the federal government gave the right to the governors. So every governor has controls So he said the term 1948 Land Use Act is incorrect. The relevant legislation is the Land Use Act of 1978. The Land Use Act of 19, so it's not 1948, it's 1978. This act vests all land in the states of Nigeria in the governor, right, who holds the trust for people, right? The act aims to streamline land administration, promote equitable access to land, and regulate land use for development. So here are more detailed explanation. Key provision of the Land Use Act of 1978. The governor is responsible for managing managing and allocating land within urban areas, while local government handles land outside urban areas, that's rural areas, right? The act introduced the concept of right of occupancy, which can be statutory, granted by what? The governor, or customary, granted by what? The local government. So the land is divided into three. We have the federal, we have the state, and we have the local. Now the state has the right to allocate land in urban areas, while the local government has the right to allocate land in where? Rural areas, right? While the federal government has the power to all lands in every area. So if the federal government wants to build an institution in any state, they have the right to what? Since that land supersedes the use for public interest, right? Government can take the land. That is the power that is vested on government. So if government needs to do anything in any state, and they need any land, and they check, and there is a location where it's suitable for that project, the government is going to come for the land, right? And there is nothing you can do about it. The only thing the government can do is to compensate you. But that land, the government must what? They must use it. If it overrides the public interest, so government cannot come and take land and then the governor, the president will now use it for his personal use. It must be for what? The public interest of everybody. So the state government has the right to allocate lands in urban areas, while the local government has the right to allocate land in local areas. That is the problem we are having in Abuja. So the Land Use Act gave of Abuja. I'll look for I think I'll have to make a proper document for these things since we'll be having trainings. Abuja has its own Land Use Act. Most time when I search for it, I will check for it. And Abuja Land Use gave the states, it's just the same thing. It gave the states, the local government, rights to allocate lands among the rural areas. And now the states, that's the FCDA, has the right to allocate land among urban areas. But that same law, states that the state government can determine where is urban and where is rural. So that is why there is always issue between the the state government and the